What is good? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're gonna be ranking the best shooting guards in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM. Now, if I left any of your favorite shooting guards off the list, I want to say I'm sorry. Okay, I tried to get nearly everybody on this list, but again, if I left somebody off, I do apologize. I'm not perfect. I'm not ever going to be perfect. So kind of just keep that in the back of your guys' minds. But I did try to get everybody. It's not like I purposefully left anybody off the list. It's just sometimes things happen. Sometimes I overlook players, stuff like that. So just again, keep all of those things in the back of your guys' minds as we do dive into this list today. Starting with the Galaxy Opal Aaron Gordon, who is absolutely horrible. I don't know who needs to hear this. Aaron Gordon stinks in my team. Okay, again, I don't know if you need to hear it or if your friend needs to hear it or your brother needs to hear it. Aaron Gordon stinks in my team. It's that simple. It's that easy. The card is not good. His release is borderline unusable. And I'm not just saying that to say that. I mean that his release is extremely bad in my team, extremely baited, extremely tough to honestly use. And it's not just that, right? If it was just the release for Aaron Gordon, I'd be like, okay, well, at least he can move really well, you know. But he just doesn't even do that, right? He doesn't move well. He doesn't groove well. And I don't see how anybody can use this card and really enjoy it, right? I mean, it's just not fun using Aaron Gordon. I tried using him, and he was absolutely horrible. Alex English up next. Alex English in MyTEAM Unlimited wasn't even a bad reward, right? And I know people aren't necessarily hyping him up, but when he was our reward last season, he wasn't horrible. Now, is he, you know, the Sean Livingston level of reward? Absolutely not. Like, Sean Livingston is absolutely elite for what he is. But I'm just saying, like, objectively, Alex English wasn't great, but he wasn't horrible. It's not like I'm just going to sit here and slander the card. He was good enough to use and good enough to have success within my team. My whole thing is this. There's just better shooting guards in my team, and Al Horford is one of them. Al Horford, as far as budget shooting guards in my team, is up there with the best of them. There's not many better budget shooting guards in the entire game than Pink Diamond Al Horford. And I know a lot of people might disagree with that, but I feel like it's hard to disagree with that, right? Because what can Al Horford not do on the court? He green shots at a high rate. His release has one of the highest green windows in the entire game. And so for me, as far as an overall card, he does a lot for you, okay? His dribbling's not necessarily great. But outside of that, Al Horford is really, really good, really solid in my team. And I've enjoyed using him on my No Money Spent Squad series when I have had the time. Ant-Man up next. I don't like Ant at all. I mean, he's only 6'5". And don't get me started about the game Ant had last night. I'm not trying to get in my feels again. You know, it is what it is. Ant was 3 of 17, but it's besides the point. Ant C tier, maybe even D tier in my team. The card's not very good. And again, I wish Ant was good. So you can't even sit here and say, oh my gosh, Ty, you just don't know how to use him. I wish he was good. He's just not. Benedict Mathurin up next. I think I gotta go B tier. Benedict Mathurin wasn't worth the grind ultimately, but if you got him, you got a decent enough shooting guard in my team. I think that's the best way to phrase it with Benedict Mathurin. I'm not going to sit here and hype up the card. I'm not going to sit here and say is, you know, absolutely incredible, absolutely anything like that. But if you got the card, you got a really solid shooting guard in my team. Billy Knight up next, and I've been sleeping on Billy Knight lately. He's going S tier. As time has went on, I've really lost an appreciation for Billy Knight. And I'm here to tell you guys I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry because, again, I lost the appreciation that I once had for him, and I deeply regret it because Billy Knight is absolutely elite in my team. And I'm telling you guys right now, do not sleep on what he can provide for you. Okay, just don't sleep on him. Billy Knight, if you got him, you probably should use him in my team. Again, the card is absolutely elite in my team. Bob Dandridge up next. I'm going D tier. I'm sorry, but for Bob Dandridge, I don't really see it with the card. And again, a lot of you guys might disagree with me on that. But I don't like Bob Dandridge, okay? As far as, look, when I grind XP on MLB The Show, I have a lot of fun. Now, when I grind XP and I see Bob Dandridge, it makes me mad. Now, maybe that's 2K's fault. It's not really Bob Dandridge's fault, but I'm going to take it out on him because at the end of the day, he's the guy I got. Brandon Ingram's Galaxy Opal up next, and I guess I'll go B tier. I don't like BI in my team because I feel like his release is just that little bit slow, at least to me. Again, this is me and my personal opinion. Does that make the card bad though? No. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say Brandon Ingram's bad. He's just, you know, only 6'7", when in the past we have seen Brandon Ingram, you know, get that height boost, other stuff like that. To me, he's just not that next level of good in my team. It's nothing more, you know, complicated than that. I wish, you know, he was a little bit better, but B tier is not bad. Glide, I'm going to go A tier. Look, I like Clyde enough to put him there. I don't think his release is good enough to put him any higher than A tier. That's just me in my opinion. I don't mind Clyde, but as far as his release, I just don't think it's anything special. I just personally don't think it's anything great. That's why I'm putting him at A tier. He is still very solid. Eddie Jones up next, and here's where things get tough. How many people am I going to put at S tier? Because Eddie Jones, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to move Billy Knight down. I'm going to move Eddie Jones down. They're both going to be A tier. But I like both cards, so I'm not trying to sit here and say that these cards aren't worth it, or that you guys, you know, or that these guys aren't, you know, S tier, that these guys aren't the best of the best. Because these cards are really solid. To me, it's just really tough. You know, you got to prioritize some things. And for me, it's Eddie Jones is on a very similar level to Billy Knight. Like, if I put one up, I feel like the other one's going to have to go up. And right now, I'm just not ready to it. I'm not ready to put one ahead of the other. And so they're A tier for me until further notice. Dr. J, I'm still going B tier with Dr. J. And I know a lot of people aren't going to like that. But I still, to this day, really like and respect Dr. J in my team. I don't necessarily think he's like the best of the best, but you can still run to the rim with him and you can still dunk the ball with him. And as long as he does those two things for me, he is going to be in B tier. Vince Carter up next. I'm going to throw Vince in A tier. I don't like Vince as much as I once did, and that's not necessarily me slandering Vince. It's just me being realistic with you guys. I mean, that just happens over time. Like, you're going to lose, you know, kind of that initial love you had for a card as time goes on, and that's kind of how it has been for Vince and me. Not that I don't like Vince, I just don't love him as much as I once did in my team. Next up, guys, we do see Dark Matter Kobe. He's A tier as well. Again, we're eventually gonna have to separate guys. I don't know where to even start right now. How do I start separating the guys at A tier? I have absolutely no idea, and because I don't have any idea, I'm not going to even try to do it. We're just going to put Kobe at A tier and keep it pushing. Kobe, you guys know, really good in my team, really smooth release, good to knock down shots at a very high clip. I just don't think he's S tier, okay? I think there are way better shooting guards in my team, and we will talk about who I'm referring to. And it's this guy right here in Radiant, Tracy McGrady. Easy addition into S tier. No brainer, no doubter, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Easy addition into S tier. Kyle Korver up next. I'll go C tier with Kyle Korver. I mean, there's a lot of people that will sit up and slander Kyle Korver 24/7. That's not going to be me. I'm not just going to sit up here and slander Kyle Korver because I don't think the card is that bad. I don't think the card is that horrible. He's going to knock down shots for you. 6'7", decent player model, decent player build. I think you can do a lot worse in my team than Kyle Korver. Now, again, that's just me in my opinion. But again, I think you can do a lot worse than Kyle Korver and what he provides for you. Next up, Ray Allen. I don't see it with Ray Allen. I'm going to leave him at C tier, and I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me for that. I've used about as much as Ray Allen as anybody else, and I don't love the card. People want to talk, oh, Ty, he's got an easy release to green. Okay, maybe, but is his release really good, or are we just hyping it up because it's Ray Allen and he's had a good release in the past? Because when I use Ray Allen, I don't necessarily love the release. I'm just saying, when I've used the card, I don't necessarily think to myself, wow, this release is absolutely incredible, because I don't see that in it. And again, that you guys can disagree with me on that, but that's just my opinion on things. And as I've used Ray Allen, I just have gotten lower and lower on the card, and now we're to the point he's C tier for me. Carmelo Anthony up next. I think I'm gonna go B tier for Melo. Some people might even put Melo in A tier. I just don't think I can put him that high. Again, that's not me saying Carmelo Anthony is bad. It's just me saying, number one, I don't think he fits my play style. And number two, I just think there are better overall options, right, at that shooting guard position in my team. 6'8", though, smooth. I wouldn't even say smooth release. Hard to contest release. Easy to green yellows. That's where I'm at on him. Mikal Bridges up next. This is tough. I think what I got to do is I got to move Ray up. I didn't want to move up Ray up, but I do think Ray is better than everybody at C tier, and I do think he's more deserving of B tier. Although, I do got to say I don't love Ray Allen. I got to make that very clear for all you guys. If you have Ray Allen, might be time to look to improve because, again, I just don't love Ray Allen. I don't rate him that high. Sorry, that's just the way it is for me right now. Next up, guys, we see Gerald Green, and I think Gerald Green is C tier, and I don't mind Gerald Green, right? You guys need to know that and understand that. I'm not sitting up here saying, wow, Gerald Green's horrible. I just don't like him any more than C tier, okay? Again, that's not me slandering him. That's not me hating on him. It's me saying he's an overall a C tier option. Cam Reddish is tough. He's really tough because I like Cam Reddish, and I'm going to do it. Cam Reddish is B tier. I like Cam Reddish, and again, a lot of people are going to disagree with me on these, but that's what makes these lists fun. If I gave you guys the same old boring answer that everybody else did, these lists would be boring. Cam Reddish B tier for me, and so is Justin Jackson. Talk about a guy that you can get for free. Justin Jackson, absolutely incredible. B tier is Justin Jackson. Grant Hill, Dark Matter up next. He's A tier. And is T-Mac in one, is T-Mac going to be the only person in S tier? I guess we'll see. But Grant Hill, the epitome of what an A tier shooting guard should look like. Ben McLemore stinks. He's absolutely horrible. Him and Bob Dandridge, both are F tier. George Gervin up next, A tier. I don't necessarily love George Gervin, but again, it's all about like honestly, I hate saying it like this, but it honestly is. It's about a respect factor, and I respect George Gervin enough to put him in A tier. I've used him, but I've never had the card, right? I'm not rich enough to have the card, but he is solid in my team, right? It's that simple. 6'7", decent release in my team, and a card that you can use and have a lot of success with. Glenn Rice up next, another A tier shooting guard. On that Eddie Jones, Billy Knight level. It's that simple to break down. It's that easy. And I like it when it's a simple breakdown, right? When I can just be like, well, he's comparable to these two guys. That makes him this tier. I like that. Simple, easy, and effective. Simple, easy, and effective. That's why he is where he is. That is why he is at A tier. Gordon Hayward up next. You guys might not like me. He's B tier. I don't like, and again, I really thought I would like Gordon Hayward in my team, but I just don't. I don't see it with the card. I don't think the card is great. That's me and my personal opinion. You guys can disagree with me if you want, but again, that's me, my personal opinion. And again, you guys don't have to agree with me, but you better respect my opinion. Herb Jones up next. I'm going to throw Herb in B tier. Right there with Cam Reddish. Whether you like Cam more, whether you like Herb more, that's personal preference. It really is. To me, they're on both on that B tier. Jaylen Brown at this stage, I mean, he's B tier still. He is still B tier, to be honest with you. B tier is like a shooting guard that you can use, have success with, and you're not even going to notice them like not be very good on the court, right? There's some guys you'll use and you'll be like, ew. You're not going to notice that with anybody at B tier, and that's why they are where they are at that B tier. Next up, Kelly Oubre Jr. This card reeks. I mean, his release honestly isn't that bad. Maybe could argue C tier. I'm putting him in D tier. Malik Sealy, I don't love his release. He's still A tier. Definitely not S tier. His release leaves a lot to be desired, but the card is really solid in my team. OJ Mayo up next, D tier. Card's pretty garbage. Paul George, I guess I'll throw it A tier. I stand true on the fact that I do not think Paul George is a top 10 shooting guard in my team. Now, is that me saying if you have Paul George that you can't use him? No. You can use whoever you want and have fun with whoever you want. I'm just here to provide you guys my personal opinion on stuff, and I don't think Paul George is that elite in my team, right? I don't think he's that top 10 shooting guard that everybody wanted him to be. Peja Stojakovic up next, B tier. I'd be lying to say I've actually used Peja, but 6'9" at the 2, sharpshooter, deserves B tier. Reggie Lewis up next, kind of a letdown of a player. I'm going to throw him in C tier. I was really let down to see the stats and badges of Reggie Lewis. Ricky Davis up next, easy addition into A tier, no questions asked. RJ Barrett stinks, D tier. Scottie Pippen, easy A tier. I mean, again, we have a lot of players at A tier, but a lot of them are inseparable. Shaedon Sharpe up next. I'd be lying again to say I've used the card. I guess I'll throw him at C tier, but again, I don't know. And then we see Steve Smith and Terry Dishinger. Call me crazy, but this is what I'm doing with my list. This is what I'm doing with my list. We've got 3 players at S tier: T-Mac, Terry, Steve Smith. The rest are A tier or lower. And I know a lot of people aren't going to like this. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. And that is all okay. This is my list. And this is where I am ranking these guys. Because again, I can't put anybody else at S tier. Because I don't think anybody else is that elite of the elite. Yes, we have some other solid cards. But none that are as good as those top 3. I want to know your thoughts on the shooting guard tier list down below in the comments. Who did I miss out on? Who was I too high on, too low on? Let me know. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, man, I love you guys. And have a blessed day.